Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Dre Day. I got the fellas, AD Andre Dirrell, AB Andre Berto. But today, we got a special guest, a legend, a man who needs really no introduction, Roy Rogers, Roy Jones Jr. My brother. We told y'all we're gonna keep bringing the heat, we're gonna keep bringing the smoke. So just stay prepared, stay locked in. Man, this topic I wanna throw out there is a little bit heavy for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be interviewing Lisa McClellan. And those that know your boxing history, you know, Gerald McClellan from Freeport, Illinois. Very dangerous fighter. You know, had a build similar to Tommy Hearns, maybe a little bit more muscle mass to Tommy. I mean, just a dynamite right hand and just a killer instinct that was talked about, you know, from Gerald all the way through the amateurs, all the way to the pros. One thing you heard about him, and even Lisa said it, and Roy know because Roy fought him and Roy came up with him, he's just a mean fighter. Mean, sometimes outside the ring, sometimes inside the ring. But, you know, Gerald had a fight. He went up in weight from middleweight to super middleweight. Gerald was the middleweight champion. He went up to face the WBC super middleweight champion, Nigel Benn, in Benn's home country of England. And it was a battle. And ultimately, Gerald took a voluntary knee in the 10th round. And shortly after that, he started to have a massive brain bleed. Had to be rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery that ultimately saved his life. But he's in a state now where he's partially blind, he's partially deaf, and his sister, Lisa, took it upon herself to be his primary caregiver. And the stuff that this woman is gonna share about what she has to go through, what she's experienced, the good treatment from the game that she's gotten, and then some of the shady business that she's got from the game. It's just, if it don't touch you, I mean, I don't know what to say. But this has me in the mind, y'all, the mindset of just, something we don't talk about a lot as fighters and warriors and competitors is the dangers of the game. Like, we're not ignorant. We know that, you know, we know intellectually, right, in theory, they're like, yeah, you know, you can get hurt in boxing. But my question for the floor is, you know, when did you start to acknowledge that, man, I may go into this ring and not come out the same? You're young, right? And you know, Nazim Richardson used to always say, you feel like you're young and immortal. You don't really think about it in your 20s. I started thinking about it in my 30s. When did y'all start thinking about the dangers of the sport?
For me, I was young, and when I was young, went through a lot of things, so a lot of life-changing things. So I think it was 1982, don't quote me, it might not have been that time, but some keep telling me it was 1982. But whenever it was, when Ray Boom Boom Mancini killed Dooku Kim, that stuck with me for my whole career. Because Dooku Kim wasn't doing bad, but it just started pounding and pounding and he wouldn't stop. When that happened to Dooku Kim, I said I would never forget that because you need to know that every time you go out there, that's a possibility. I don't care who you are, how good you are, that's a possibility. It don't take, like you said, it don't take but one. One in the right place at the right time. So when Gerald fought Ben, I was the only person that said Gerald probably was gonna lose. And everybody was like, why you think that? You the only person that think that. I said, because he going to Ben's country. All Ben can do is bang. Gerald knocked out Julian Jackson. He feel like he the bigger banger. He might be, but you in this dude's backyard. This dude gonna be fighting for his whole country. Your family might, your immediate family there, but ain't that many Americans going to the UK to watch you fight? The UK live, they bought probably 20,000 to see the boy fight Floyd at that time. It's a lot of them gonna travel. So they take fighting differently, you feel me? So I knew that he was gonna probably fight the wrong fight. If he would have boxed him and dealt with him, he would have stopped being. He had him out the first round.
Man, he was a second away from
Exactly, he had him out the first round. But I just knew him and his mean personality. He wasn't gonna box, he was gonna try to brawl with him. So I knew that probably wasn't gonna end bad. Now, did I think it would do him as bad as he did? No, because I saw him as a potential opponent in the pro. So I never thought that would happen to him like that. I just didn't think he would beat Ben. So now, at my prime, I would go out to training camp, and everybody never knew why I would do this. The week before I fight, I would come by my house before I go wherever I'm going. So sometimes I would come from New Jersey, down to Pensacola, back out to Las Vegas. Why you go by Pensacola? Why you just go to Las Vegas? When I go to Pensacola, I get to look at everything I've acquired. All my animals, who gonna love me no matter how I come back.
Yeah.
My kids, my family, anything else I like, I thought of, I'll check it all out. Because when I leave here, it could be the last time I get to lay eyes on all that.
Man.
Cold piece.
You understand where I'm coming from?
That's the fight game.
That's what it really was. But that's how serious I was.
Yeah.
So when I walk out that gate, now you gotta just be ready to kill me. Because until I can't go no more, I'm gonna be going. You understand me? So, and that's just what it was. So it was in fights like when I fought Richard Hall. About the 10th round, I think I was going so hard that I think I blacked out. And I couldn't really tell what I was doing. I was on autopilot. But my body kept saying, hey, you just keep fighting. Don't you worry about nothing else. So in my mind, I kept telling myself, you just keep fighting. By round 11, I think I came back. And I still was fighting. But my mind, my heart just kept telling me, you just keep fighting. So no matter what happens, if I'm up and able, I'm gonna keep fighting.
I mean, just me, I think it just came a little bit, you know what I mean, like a little, you know what I mean, later for me, because I've always had that dog mentality. I was always in that mind frame.
I mean, you from Florida, man.
You already know what it is. You already know what it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've always had that mentality to go out there and get it, and if we, you know, if we suffer a demise doing it, that's just what it was. You know what I mean? But I think the first time I really had that thought of maybe this may not go well when I fought probably Sean Porter. When I fought Sean Porter, and I took so many headbutts, so many clashes, and of course after that fight, put me on a little gurney and took me over to the hospital just to get checked out. And I used to always hear these stories of people that have, you know, that have gone through these situations where they've had these fights, and then afterwards they have these headaches, and then it makes you feel like you want to throw up, don't throw up, or you're gonna fall into a coma, and this happens. I never felt that until after that fight. Went to the hospital, they checked me out, they told me I had some little damage here and there. I went back to the room. I felt like I wanted to throw up all night. But that's the only thing that kept running through my head. It's like, man, if I throw up, if something might happen, I may fall into a coma. I may, you know, I mean, this may, I mean, go further than what it needs to go. So I stayed up. I tried my best to stay up all night. I was scared to go to sleep. I was scared to go to sleep that night. So I'm like, man, you know, I mean, what if I don't wake up? You know what I mean? So I think that was my first time actually being in that situation, and really seeing and really feeling the dangers of the game, of the repercussions of getting in that ring and not coming out the same. And after that fight, I was like, okay, cool. You know, I probably won't be doing this too much longer. You know what I'm saying? I might not be doing this too much longer. Let me do what I need to do. Let me slide up out of here.
That was like what? You was talking about like, that was about 18,
Yeah,
2018?
Yeah, about 2018. And
Being a cat with natural ability, man, I always felt like anything was possible, right? It can happen at any moment. For me, man. So I depended on working hard in the gym every day. That's where the work needs to be done. That's where I felt like you won the fight, right? In the gym. So to ever prevent it from happening to me, I put crazy work in the gym to make sure that it didn't, right? However, you know, y'all know how my career went. It wasn't the best, you know what I'm saying? But I had a great career at the same time, and got to show my talents raw, you know what I'm saying? And when it became a concern for me, man, now I'm gonna tell you why this is hard for me to even really tell you that it was a concern, right? Because I would see fighters being a natural fighter, like gifted fighter like myself, I would see fights and be like, man, dog, like, you know, like, I don't know if what I'm thinking might happen because, you know, this dude ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how people with natural talent work, you know, how the mind tick. Even right now, I see fights, I be like, man, I killed this dude. Right, and I ain't gonna say no names, but I feel like that right now. You know what I'm saying? It could be another story, but that's how I feel. So put it like this, man, it was always the thing for me. It was always possible. It can end at any night, right? I think it was a blessing that I stopped receiving the calls to be able to do it again, because I had a family to look after. I got a beautiful family. I got a beautiful life. I've been with my wife since high school. We got 5 beautiful kids together, 18 to getting ready to be 1, man. And I counted that as my blessing, and that's what I needed to cultivate for the rest of my time, living this life, man. So, but I've always seen this. It's always been a thing. And I'm just glad God allowed me to step out of the game, sit here with my men, with my guys, and speak the boxing game on the other side of this rope, man. It's a blessing that God has been so good.
You know another thing too. When I went to the Boxing Hall of Fame, that was my first time, on actually seeing a lot of the aftermath of the fight game. Seeing a lot of legends that I've always looked up to, in the situation and in the predicament that they're in now. They can hardly speak. I see them with, a little nurses just walking them around. But like I say, they legends. A lot of us talk about them, but then again, I can just see, all of the battering of the game still, lingering on them. And that's one thing at a very early age that I seen, but like I said, that mindset back then, it was, that ain't gonna happen to me.
But that ain't gonna happen to me. We was talking about this at lunch today, right? They wasn't ducking no smoke.
At all.
It wasn't no, let me try. Them dudes be fighting a couple times a week.
Man.
So that's what a lot of that was, we got a little bit more regulation, a little bit more of a system here, man. These dudes they were just rumbling.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what we see with that too. I would say for me, man, probably in my early 30s is when I start really like counting the punches I start getting hit with. Mm-hmm. Like I'd be in sparring like, dang, well, you got hit with 5 good ones today. Dang. Mm-hmm. And I used to always, you the main event fighter, you the fighter, whatever. You fight an undercard main event, but for a main event fighter, you come in the back where the players come in if you fighting at a basketball arena or something like that. And I always see the EMT, the ambulance right there.
Yeah, you see that on the left.
And for whatever reason, they always had the gurney out of the truck.
Ready for you.
Sitting right there on the wall.
Just in case.
And I don't care how good I felt pulling up to the arena, I would look up at that thing and it just hit me, bro. Like, if you don't take care of your business tonight, bro, you could leave in that. Yeah. Never told Verge about it. I didn't discuss it with nobody. I just dealt with it. And my biggest fear was my 2 biggest fears. Let me see. 3 biggest fears was obviously losing.
Yeah.
Never wanted that to happen. I don't like how that feels.
It's crazy.
Getting knocked out on something that like just touch you and you wake up like, what happened?
Yeah.
That was all, because it's like, it ain't about being tough. You just got hit in the right spot.
Yeah.
And a brain bleed.
Yeah.
It don't matter how hard you train, don't matter how much you prepare. You do that to put yourself in the best position. But bro, a grazing shot can do that. That was always my biggest fears was like, man, bro, I can have a brain bleed at any given time. I remember times sparring, bro. Get hit with a good shot, you go back to the apartment. Like, man, my head hurt, bro. Like, what you gonna do? Call your coach?
Yeah.
We don't do stuff like
cry
that.
about it.
No, we don't. Like, we in camp getting ready for a monster.
Yeah.
And I'm taught since I've been a kid. Hey, man, don't acknowledge it, man.
No crying and complaining.
Don't acknowledge it, bro. You hit you with a good shot, deal with that, keep on. That's what we taught. So I'm not calling you. I just deal with it, but in my mind, I'm like, bro, my head hurt, bro. Like, I hope I'm good.
Let me say this. The fight before Froch, fought Victor Oganov. First round, I hit him with a body shot. All I heard was, so that killer instinct turned on. I'm like, let me finish the job while I can, because this was a short Russian, powerful but small. So it's just like I had to box. I let loose, man. I threw entirely too many punches. Listen, from every round moving forward, I never regained my full, my breath, my energy, right? I had to fight him off every chance I had. I was in a hurry. I was moving as fast as I could, and I was lighting him up every chance I get. Listen, I'm telling y'all, this is the honest to God truth, man. They stopped it, I believe, the 8th round, maybe the 8th round, 8th or 9th round. They stopped the fight, man. And I was so relieved because my head was pounding. I was walking back to the locker room. I wasn't excited about the win. I was just happy they stopped. I walked back to the locker room. My head is on. Listen, my head is literally pounding from every angle. And I'm sitting there just listening while the doctor talking to me. I'm answering all the questions. That's giving me a little relief. But I honestly felt like if that fight would have continued, I would either be dead or I would have lost that fight. I'm
this
telling
type
you, I
of stuff
believe that.
these fans don't know. They don't see, bro. It's like I've had plenty of fights that I fought that I've been through some wars. I came out victorious and everybody's screaming, everybody's, congratulating me, I walk in the dressing room, I look at my face like this. I go in the bathroom, I take a piss, it's just nothing but, it looked like cranberry juice flowing out. But everybody in that dressing room, they just cheering, but I'm in that bathroom thinking about life. Like, this is crazy.
Man. I think the worst I ever felt after a fight, bro, was Edison Miranda. And, man, the whole time, like, when it was talk about the fight happening, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, that wasn't my first choice. Edison Miranda wasn't my first choice. I wasn't no ducking, but it wasn't my first choice. So they hit me first, say, I remember I was in San Leandro, California, walking down the street. But I knew, stuff is happening, they negotiating, but, I'm getting a sense, what's the list? Give me 2 or 3. I'm talking to Jay Prince. Yeah, I'm gonna see about the list, but it look like this who they want. I'm like, all right, Jay, but let me see if you can get a list. So boom, Burns called. He said, the fight done, baby. I said, well, who? Miranda. I'm like, man, bro. All right. And I already know instinctively. I've been fighting my whole life. I know, like, this gonna be a rough one.
Yeah.
I know. And right then in that moment, he said, Dre, listen to me, baby. He said, make up your mind right now that whatever he hit you with, it ain't gonna be enough. Man. So this whole camp, I'm in this mindset. That dude hit me with a couple right hands, bro. And when I watched the tape, I don't know how I took it. It was like you could hear smack. And before my head could come back, I'm throwing punches. Yeah. I'm trying to get it back.
Yeah.
And my mind had went to such a different place because I had to.
Yeah.
He the type of dude, if you're not who you say you are, I'm gonna break you.
He gonna show it to you quick.
And then I'll be putting hands on this dude. He be done. Then the bell ring, he back. I'm like, bruh, where that come from?
Right. Terminator.
It's like that.
But I had to have that to beat him. But adrenaline still real high in the locker room, but I'm kind of feeling I'm like, man, okay, I'm good. But like, man, I feel it. Drive home, and we fought in Oakland, so it was a short ride to the house. And I can remember my family, they was a little ways behind us and they making their way to my house. I'm upstairs, my head, boom, 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 boom. Again, I'm trained as a kid, man. Doc, how you feel? I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good. You all right? You sign me off, give my paperwork, give me my check, I'm going home. I deal with whatever just happened.
Yeah.
So I'm in my room and I hear people banging on the door, hey, so-and-so here, so this family. I told my wife, I said, hey, tell them they gotta go. I don't want to see nobody right now. I don't feel good. I don't know what's going on. I never felt like that before. Been boxing my whole life. And she went down and told the family. I remember the family was, man, what you mean? We got people here. We're trying to. My wife was like, he don't want to see nobody. Right? So they was mad that I didn't want to see him, and they wasn't considering what I was going through. That's night number 1. Day 2, it's even worse.
Boy.
Boom, 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 my head. Day 3,
bing, bong, bing,
I'm
bong.
like, bro.
Getting punched again.
Because the adrenaline is leaving. The adrenaline is leaving.
So now you really feel
I'm
it.
feeling it. Everything I got involved in Saturday night, it's coming to the surface.
Car accident.
Man, I was this close. I was this close to going to the hospital, but the reason why I didn't go to the hospital, because they gonna know it's me.
That's crazy.
He coming to get the CT. This all the stuff we got to deal with.
Yeah.
But it was moments like that, y'all, that really helped me grow up when it came to negotiating, when it came to telling people no, when it came to taking my job serious. Y'all be teasing about, oh, you was always locked in. I had to be.
That's fact.
I didn't have Roy Jones kind of talent.
Right.
I had my amount of talent, but I had the kind of talent, I had to work my talent for it to work for me.
Yeah.
I had to be like that, bro, because I knew this thing gonna end at some point in time. I gotta have what I'm supposed to have, and I can't take no shorts, man. And seeing how people move, even family, man, they love me, but man, they kind of in it for themselves in this moment.
They not seeing
I
that.
started growing up understanding that this game is not just dangerous from a, in theory standpoint. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you could die doing this.
Fact.
That
We
made
all
me
been there.
man up even more and say, look, bro, this a business. This is a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a job. So it was moments like that for me that really helped me put the game in perspective and make me respect the game like I was supposed to.
As fighters, you know, this is something that it's something that we sign up for. If it goes good or if it goes bad. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, when I look at when I look at the landscape, you know, do we have a different type of somewhat opinion on certain situations if they turn out bad? Because this is what we signed up for as well.
What you
You
mean?
understand what I'm saying? Like, I believe that it's always a sad situation once someone, you know, either dies or they go through a situation like McClellan. But at the same time, you know, in our minds as fighters, I mean, this is the game we signed up for too, on how it could go this way or it can go that way.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I think all fighters are not created equal.
Nope.
yeah.
Just because you are a professional fighter does not mean that you got a mentality where you'll take it there.
Yeah.
And some fighters have a breaking point.
Yeah.
For me, I couldn't, when I was, you know, sitting with myself and I'm thinking about, man, okay, you know, if this go here, I personally never got to a breaking point in my mind. I never got to a point where I said, if this happened, man, I'm done. And I was always concerned that, you know, like, man, if I'm ever in a situation like that, you don't really know till you get into the situation, but I couldn't ever see myself quitting. Like, I would need my coach / godfather to do the dirty work. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like for me, I had to have that mentality facing some of the dudes that I faced.
Yeah.
And y'all always tease me about, man, you always be looking, because, bro, like, I gotta know what works for me.
Facts.
Like, Floyd Mayweather and maybe Sugar Ray Robinson and Roy
Yeah.
are the only couple I can think about right now that made the game look fun and, like, you know, made it look like, bruh, I have to get everything right. I gotta do everything right in order to be successful. And I'm not saying that y'all didn't care about the details, but I'm saying y'all had so much talent and ability, and y'all stuff y'all was doing was not normal. It was like, dang, bro, like, you making everything look easy.
Yeah.
I had to be like that, bro, in the prep and leading into the fight to make sure that I put myself in the best position to not get the brain bleed, to not get clipped, to not have a bad night. Now, you can't predict it all, but I did everything in my power to say, bro, if I lose tonight, something happened, it ain't because I didn't take it serious.
That's a fact.
It ain't because I ain't take it serious.
And I think it just depends on how you raised as well, man, because the crazy thing about it, I mean, like I said, you know how my pops was. He was he was like a general, you know, of the Army, man. We worked so hard. He pushed us so crazy to a point that, in my mind, you know, coming up in the fight game, you guys seen fights with, say, like me and Guerrero and other people that looked like I was supposed to be out of it.
You ain't had no breaking point, bro.
And I ain't had no breaking point, because in my mind, the way I was raised, there was honor in death if it went to that point. In a way of saying that, okay, you know, like I said, like in my heart, I would really feel that me looking at my dad, if something happened to me, but just the fact that I didn't quit, that he was going to be at least give, you know what I mean, be proud in that sense. It almost sounds crazy.
That's what it was, though.
You know what I mean? It almost sounds crazy,
though.
but I almost feel like that he would be proud in that sense. You know what I mean? He was a warrior until the end. That's the way I was raised. That's the way, I mean, I didn't have a breaking point. It didn't matter what you did to me. It didn't matter how much pain I went through. The only thing I knew not to do was stop or quit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if it went to that point, in my mind, it was like, listen, I mean, I felt like it was always, I mean, like it had, you know what I mean, honor in that other space as well, if it went that way. So
I think a lot of how we was raised is got a lot to do with the mentalities we had or didn't have, and how we moved in the sport. And man, I had a winning streak, man, that was since I was a kid, bro, like 12 years old. 13 years old, something like that. And, you know, media stuff, you just talk about pressure. Like, man, the internal pressure I got on me at my house with my coach, the standard that we got, bro, this ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Them cameras, man, that's nothing.
That's light.
I had to have pressure. I had pressure on me. I didn't like to spar. I didn't like sparring days. Because it wasn't that it was nothing about who I was sparring. It's a standard that I gotta look a certain type of way.
Every time.
And if somebody get off on me that day, you don't have a bad day, but somebody get off on me that day, the look that I would get from Verge and the kind of the mood in the gym, like, dang, bro, it's like I got clipped or something.
Yeah.
The standard was so high. As an amateur, if I didn't look right, or, you know, the few times I did lose, bro, I remember that deeply, bro. I remember like looking like, bro, it's like somebody died up in here.
Yeah.
That's the standard that we had every day, all the way to the pros. So you get to a dude like Kovalev, hey, he's this. Man, listen, bro, I done fought this dude 100 times before. He may be scared of y'all civilians. I've been in this situation my whole life, and the standard that we have for ourselves is you can't compare nothing. Nothing you bring, no question you ask me, no camera you put in my face is gonna make me feel no type of way because you don't understand where I came from and the system, the mindset that was drilled into me as a kid. Hey man, you don't give him nothing. 15 years old fighting pros and they can't deal with my speed and my skill, so they hit me low. Virgie hitting me low. Make him stop then. Virgie he hitting me on my hips. Hit him on his hips.
Yeah.
Like that's the mindset that we got at 9, 10, 15, 16. And it only just grows in the pro game. But
it sounds like real quick too.
yeah.
Man, I've known you my whole career. We came up in amateurs the whole nine. I've always felt like you knew how to control your mentality in turn your emotions, right? It's almost like you created that scenario on your own about the pressures of sparring and performing, right? Because and now right here, right now, I feel like I'm seeing where you're vulnerable at, right? It's just like you telling me you can tap in and take over a fight, being down however many rounds, you know what I'm saying? Control your space, be where you need to be when you need to be there, you know what I'm saying? You ain't letting nobody step on your toes. You always showed up. Right? But now you telling me you sitting there and sparring and you got the pressure to perform because sparring has to hold you to a certain standard. It's like, do you feel like you created that? Thinking about it right now. Maybe I'm putting it in your head now. Did you create that to make sure you did?
I was drilled into me. And then I had to take it to another level. Like, don't give him nothing. I didn't like, it was like, bro, it's blasphemous to come in camp and let somebody get off on you because you say you tired today. That wasn't an option.
That's how he was raised. I'm like, I see no Verge. That's how he was.
No, that wasn't an option.
You know what I mean?
And it's always been like that. So that's just a standard, bro. And I just think that I hate to lose, and I knew what came with losing. And I remember the last time I lost, and I never wanted to feel that again. And me becoming a professional, that only made the consequences greater. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get into this next point, but it wasn't about these guys, but I was very aware that I was always aware of where press row was during my fight. I seen the laptops open. I seen their face lit up from the screen. They just waiting.
I'm waiting for
Is
something.
tonight gonna be the night? Is tonight gonna be the night?
Yeah.
And I know you know.
You better believe it.
They was waiting for something to happen to you for a
long
time.
time.
And they was waiting.
Yeah.
But it's like people don't understand it. Like you take all of that in the ring with you, and it ain't just about them. I'm not just trying to prove y'all wrong. I'm not gonna give y'all that much credit. But I was aware that, man, I said a lot of stuff that wasn't right. And tonight, I'm either gonna prove you right or prove you wrong. And that's what we bring into the ring with us. But I'm gonna segue from this topic, man. I'm gonna get into the retirement talk. Everybody has a different story in this room right now about their march to that place, right? Whether it was age or whether, you just felt like that was it. What is the right time? Yeah. Like, is it a right time? Like, what's the right time to walk away? Some people applaud me for leaving when I did. Some people say you left money on the table, you left opportunities. and let some of the fans tell it I was ducking somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when is the right time to walk away? Or how do you know that time?
I don't think you. I mean, that's a tough question, bro. That's a tough question because, like I say, I mean, all of us are like I say, we're warriors at the end of the day. We've been doing this since we've been 5 or 6 years old. Now you telling us to go and just walk into the regular world and try to be a civilian. I mean, it's you know what I mean, that's a tough situation to deal with. And sometimes if you want to, you sit at home for a good month or two, you start feeling crazy. You want to punch something. You know what I'm saying? So I think this. I think it's just subjective, man. I think you really need to, man. For retirement, you really need to make your mind up. It really has to feel like, man, I'm done. You know what I mean? You really got to say that to yourself. Yeah. I'm done with this, and it's very hard. It's very hard for any athlete. Any athlete to walk away from something that they've been passionate about, they've been doing since they've been a young kid.
Been babies, man.
Into coming to another space of just trying to sit at home or just raising a family, just trying to do something else. I mean, you've been a Ferrari your whole life. You've been pushing it to a completely different level for your whole life.
Now you're in the slow lane.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
You're in the slow lane now.
You know what I mean? Getting love and get respect and getting cheered and being able to get all that applause your whole life and moving your body and doing all these magnificent things and always feeling like you're special because you're doing something that's extraordinary that people come out and applaud you for. And now what, you just gonna sit home and be regular? That's tough to deal with. That's gonna hit you different. So to say, when is the right time, I think it just depends on the person. Mm-hmm. I think it just depends on what you want to stand on as a man about your career or just you just as a person. And like I say, of course I know as well that even when you stop fighting, even kind of when you step off the gas a little bit, you're going to get that itch almost every other day.
That ain't going nowhere.
To see if you made the right decision. You know what I mean? To see somebody fight on TV and be like, man, I can go ahead and give me an easy check. Yeah. Like, all these different things that just come into play, bro. It's like I say, it's different, man. It just depends on the person. But like for me, it's the fact of really feeling like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to go through no more training camps. I'm getting tired of getting punched on. I'm getting tired of, the anticipation of performing at this level. I just want to have fun and have my freedom back and just enjoy my family. And I can do a lot of things outside the ring as well. I got to do this.
Well, you sure you there though, brother? Because you just fought news like 2 months ago, brother. I'm trying to figure out, you keep talking about retirement. I'm trying to figure out, like, listen, if man, I'm on your box track right now, you an active fighter.
I know, but you
oh my goodness.
I mean, that's you an active, so.
I'm chilling right now.
Where we at?
Huh? Where you at?
Where we
you
at?
was just talking 2
I'm
months
done.
ago,
Nah, I was
calling everybody
I'm
out.
done. I called it already.
You were just calling everybody out 2 months ago, bro.
That wasn't even 2 months. That wasn't even 2
get
months.
this little thing off too.
Yeah.
This kind of, man, I just feel, my family, brother. You just called somebody out a couple months ago, bro.
Y'all said a couple months ago. You know how much stuff
he
can
called
happen
out
in a couple
Anthony
months.
Yarn.
Called him and stopped it.
Me
Yeah.
and Boy had to get you off the ledge. You talking crazy.
Oh, man, that was a moment in time. You in the gym working out, you just feeling you like, man.
Yeah,
and listen again, man, y'all gotta understand.
You just got done sparring in the videos too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I wasn't even in shape.
Why did you feel like you was calling everybody out 2 months ago? How did you feel? Did you feel? Don't look at me like that.
That I'm the man. Like, I can do it still. Like, all I gotta do is give me a shot. Listen, y'all saw what I did. Hold on, wait.
Hold on, so if the phone ring, you get that.
If the phone ring.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
What did you just ask Crawford? What you asked Crawford? If they called you for $100 million,
we talking about $100 million. That's every conversation.
Period.
If they call you right now,
it's a right number. Wait, it's a right number for everybody.
If Anthony Yard called you right now and said, "Okay, bet, let's go."
Absolutely.
Okay, then so you ain't retired. It's
listen,
done.
I'm done.
You ain't done.
And listen, I'm putting that bar hard because I don't want to come back. I got a beautiful thing on the house, man. I'm good.
Let me say something. Neither one of y'all retired. I just want to
I'm done, bro.
That.
I'm done.
I need you to weigh in on this because they not retired.
They not retired.
Man, chill out.
Let's want to jump in this conversation because y'all active.
Yeah, I learned from Muhammad Ali that a real fighter never truly retires.
I
So
like
you can
that.
try.
You just gave me something to
You
go
can
with.
try to
Taking
retire.
that.
You can try to retire. You call
Write
that,
it
and
down.
the time is as follows. It's different strokes for different folks.
Mhm.
First of all, we winners.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do not want to leave there a loser.
Mhm.
So while we're old enough to not lose.
Right.
You understand me? So we know there's people out there that we can beat. Why not go out with a victory? That's the first thing we try to do. Second thing is, when you quit having that urge to get up and still head of the pack, that's really time for you to stop.
That's a fact.
And that's just honestly speaking.
That's a fact.
So I notice everybody knows when you wake up and you don't want to get up and go do what you got to do to stay ahead of that group,
Mhm.
it's time for you to get out whether you
Yep.
want to or not.
That's
Now, not many people listen to it, but
That's
like
the
I said,
problem.
it does
That's
happen.
the problem right there.
But
That's the problem.
because you start seeing people in that pack that you know, like he just said, you know you can whoop him.
Mhm.
You understand me? So it's very difficult because all of your life you was a challenger.
Yeah.
You was the guy that challenged everything. Me, I fought the odds on everything. You know, they told me you can't win a heavyweight. Okay, watch. So it's like they tell me that you can't win a bet at 55, really. Well, I don't believe that, but I'm not gonna go try. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. But don't tell me I can't, because if somebody told me I can't and the right check was there, I'd probably go out there and see. Because, like I said, I learned from Ali, fighters don't really retire. We try to stop, but retirement is not the answer. So when you're happy and complacent in what you're doing, and if you really look at it and see some of these, like he said, when you see these older guys who went before you, and you see some of the things that they suffer from, it makes you rethink their retirement situation. So if you can put yourself in a good enough mindset that you did all you were supposed to do with what God gave you, then you can sit back and retire.
I think it could be fear as well, bro. Because you know, wasn't Mike Tyson told me a long time ago. He says that your life doesn't really start until you retire from boxing. So is it the fact that a lot of us, we don't know who we are outside of this fight game? Like, to live a normal life.
Yeah.
Is that fear there to be able to go from one side of the fence to the other and live this normal life? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, is it that? Is it just the fear of the fact of trying to retire and trying to find out who that person is? You know what I mean? Everybody's been seeing this guy for so long, for the last 20, 30 years. I've been this dog, I've been this and I've been that. Who is this other guy outside of that? That's a fearful, you know what I mean, situation that you have to deal with within yourself in front of the mirror now. You know what I mean? Be able to walk to the store and try to be regular and try to move and shake and try to be regular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My pastor, man, he really, I got to give him a lot of credit because he got me prepared for retirement long before I retired. And he did it by his example first and then with his words. You know, my pastor was an All-American at University of Washington and played for the Raiders for 6 years, Napoleon Kaufman. And he left, got a new contract, played 1 year out the new 2-year deal, and he walked away. You know, he never came back, went to ministry, did his thing. And I know that's part of the reason why God led me to his church, because my time was coming. And I can remember, you know, studying Jim Brown and how he retired. You know, he was in the off season, he was on the set of Dirty Dozens because he starred in a lot of movies, and he was in his army fatigue, sitting in the director's chair. He's on the phone with the owner of the Browns, and he's telling him what he wants. He said, "We ain't gonna do it." He said, "I'm done." He never came back. I said, "Man, what is that?" George Foreman. George left he was retired for 10 years, came back, but you know, for the most part, he retired on his own terms. And I started studying that kind of stuff. And it's like when I was active, I was like, man, I want to leave like that. I want to leave like that. I want to leave like that. And my pastor was always telling me, Dre, man, this is what you do. This is not completely who you are, son. Understand that. This is a season of your life. And for him to contextualize that for me, instead of just what we normally used to hearing, is just, oh, you that fighter, you the fighter, you the fighter, that's war the fighter, that's war the fighter, right? It helped me to start accepting that long before I actually walked away. And I actually started having a desire to walk away like, man, I want to leave on top. I want to leave on top. And I always looked at the sport like it was another opponent. Y'all got, it's these landmines all over the place. Whether it could be anything. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of ways to fail in this game.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't trying to fail, man. I ain't trying to give y'all that, man. I'm not trying to give y'all that opportunity, man. So I always looked at boxing as another opponent And the night before, y'all was with me.
Yeah, I was.
The night before, and I ain't tell y'all nothing
He
either.
ain't tell us.
So I knew I was gonna look. I knew I was gonna
That boy
announce
pulled
my
a cold
retirement the
piece
next
on
morning.
it, boy.
And we went out to dinner and everything. I ain't tell these dudes nothing.
Man.
I ain't tell them nothing.
It
He was with us?
I ain't tell them nothing. Yeah.
Was
Oh,
you here? Was
yeah,
he
I was
here?
there. I was
Went to
there.
Kincaid's in Jackson Square.
Yeah,
in
you
Oakland.
was a cold piece.
So I ain't tell y'all nothing, right? But I did call you the morning of, though.
Yeah,
I
you
told you the
did.
morning of. You was like,
Yeah,
"What?"
you
I said,
did.
"Bro, I'm about to do it right now."
He called me like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Bruh, I'm about to do it. I said, what are you talking about? I do what? It's over. What? What are you talking about? It's over. What? I'm trying to wipe the crust out my eyes.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's
he ain't
over.
believe it. So you know, I walked away. I did my thing, and it's like, I often say, man, I wish retirement on everybody,
Yeah.
but I wish retirement for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, it's a part of it that's a blessing.
Yeah.
The other part, it ain't that easy, bro. And it's like people see me like, oh, you did it right, you did it right. Y'all don't know what I've been through. It ain't been bad, but it ain't been easy, bro.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Because I can do math too. I count real good.
They coming.
I count real good, right? Count real good. I'm doing the math. Ah, man, it's a phone call away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a phone call away,
That's
Jay.
a fact.
Right?
Quick, easy.
That drive ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not going nowhere.
Crazy.
Ever.
I was whooping on Dirrell last night in the lobby. Hitting
Yeah.
with them body shots.
Nah, stop.
Hitting with the
All
body
day.
shot. But I think one of the main things I learned was we were men who always had a mission. You had a set of orders. Roy, this your
Yes, sir.
mission. This your date. This your opponent. You got 10 weeks. This what you gonna make. If you do this, this what's gonna happen next. That you got orders. Here go your mission.
Yep.
Now that's taken away. I gotta take all this drive, my mind, everything that I got that made me great over here, and I gotta put it toward other stuff, whether it's pouring into somebody else, training people, starting a gym. If you like get involved in movies, doc, book,
Right.
raise your family, like you gotta find that other stuff. And it ain't never gonna be like boxing,
Yeah.
Yep.
but I gotta find something. Cause if I just sit there, man,
You're gonna look crazy.
you're gonna die off, bro. You're not gonna make it. And you probably gonna either come back or you just not gonna be in a good way.
And that's exactly what you said. I mean, I feel like when it comes to us as, fighters, like we've always had a purpose. Like you said, we always had a mission. So is the trick to be able to find something that you love that much, even though
Ain't gonna
there's
be the
no
same.
way, there's no
Not gonna
way
be the
you're gonna
same.
be able to reach that type of high
It's not gonna be the same.
of being world champion,
gonna
being
be the
able
same.
to perform in front of thousands and millions of people. I mean, you're never gonna be able to reach that type of high. But as men that have been on a mission, our whole lives, I believe we have to find something that's going to gear that drive somewhere. We have to. If not, you're gonna sit a Ferrari in the garage and just let it rock. You're gonna go crazy.
For me, when I give back to these kids,
Yep.
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm
does
saying.
it for me because for me, I feel like God blessed me with it to share with more of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? So now it's a little bit easier for me because I love sharing it
Yeah.
with the ones under me. You understand me? It's like it's so much that I know that's not getting taught anymore.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So to be able to go teach them stuff that nobody else is going to teach them takes me to a whole nother place.
Yeah.
So now I'm not living for Roy. I'm living for what God gave Roy.
He's serving.
I'm taking what God gave me and trying to give it to me as I can. You understand me? So it's like I have fighters. My wife get mad at me all the time. Why are you training him? He sucks. You understand me? And I do understand. But what she doesn't understand is when I look at him, I don't look at a person that necessarily sucks. I look at him as how much he got in here. Because he's also an example in my gym. He can't whoop himself, but he here every day on time. And he going harder than all y'all go. So y'all need to learn something from him. You understand? Because like in the old days, they used to say it takes a community to raise a kid. In the boxing gym, it's almost the same way. So you gotta have some who have the talent that don't have the drive. You gotta mix them with some who don't have the talent, but have the drive. And you gotta tell them, now, if he was as talented as you are, he'd kick your behind. Because he gonna give everything he's supposed to give over here. You understand me? So it's always teaching and learning to be done in that gym. And that's where I get my best feelings from.
And I'm gonna use my example here, man. the first thing you have to do when having to make a decision on to stay or leave is accept the fact that it may be time to go. You feel me? So when I woke up in the Avalon Apartments, grabbed my phone, Hayward, California, I see Ward's video. God, man, what a job. You probably retired the best out of everyone I've ever seen, bro. That retirement was dope, right? But it hit home for me too, bro. I was hit, and I don't know if I called
think
you.
you called me and
I
told me
know I
something
must have
like that.
called you. Yeah, I must have called you, man, because it hit close to home. I ain't paid no attention to it. He ain't tell us the night before, and I see this video waking up, and I'm like, oh crap. I do gotta leave this sport. You know what I'm saying? I gotta come to terms with it. Right?
You ain't listen, though.
So
Yeah, that was in
so
2017.
so
Yeah,
listen.
exactly. You ain't listen, bro.
Wait a minute.
It sound good, but you
my
ain't listen.
mission, my mission was to get what I could out of this sport and make my move. You know, make my mark. Right? And I got a chance to do that. Zerto Ramirez fought. Yuniesky Gonzalez stopped him in the 10th round. I did the same thing. I was prepped and ready to continue on going, but I had to pay attention to the fact that I was no longer as relevant as I wanted to be, right? And so we have to first accept that it may be your time to go. And that way, whatever God is trying to bless you with, because he's always been showing me signs in this game that I was fit to be on the outside of this game too and teaching it however way I see fit, right? He showed me every single way.
Yeah,
He showed me
definitely
every
do
single
that.
way. I refused to accept it throughout the years.
Of course.
I work with NBA players. I work with NFL players. And they all say, man, can you coach me? Can you coach me? Can you coach? Nah, man, when I'm done with boxing, I ain't never doing this again, bro. It's over, right? When I finally accepted, I said, you know what? If I don't get a call in 2 months, then I'm going to go ahead and just say, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That call didn't come. I hung it up. God immediately started to show me his blessings. So if you want to see your blessings, man, bro, you got to let it go and then chase and believe and have that faith that you will find a way. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got all of the talent that I got. Now, I ain't talking about boxing ability no more. I'm a people person. I love people. What you said hit home. I love helping people mentally and physically. Probably more mentally than physically, man, because this world, bro, physical pain is easy.
Yep.
I tell any of my clients that in 2 seconds flat. Physical pain, that's nothing, bro. That's the indicator too of you being great in the gym.
Yeah.
That's the pain is the indicator, right? But when you got to go through that emotional pain, man, I don't want to get up and go to the gym. Go ahead, talk to me right quick.
I just got a question.
Yes, sir.
I just got a question.
I'm retired.
No, I hear you.
Go ahead.
2 months ago you was, but go ahead.
You gonna stay retired?
Listen. Let me counter that question.
I asked you.
What would they have to pay you to come back right now?
We already went through this.
I'm just okay. Answer the question for the cameras.
All offers I gotta pray about.
Talk to them. That you
all
heard that.
offers I gotta pray about.
Huh?
You gotta pray
all my
about
offers
it.
I gotta pray
And just like Crawford said, yeah, God gonna tell you, go ahead and take that check. So of course it's a number, but I'm gonna set the bar to where they won't call me back.
Yep.
That's my mission.
That's how you
Like,
do it.
listen, I'll come back, but I'm gonna set it to where you don't call me back. It's a blessing to be sitting here with y'all, man.
It sure is.
Idol, you my guy, my brothers. I grew up with these cats. My idol, I'm sitting next to y'all doing this, bro. I'm good, and I got a good family, at home. Big God's taking care of me, bro.
You, my boy.
Come on now, easy work, easy
boy
work.
was making us laugh since the
Always.
That's listen. We tell you
bro.
all the time, man, and we gonna wrap it here, bro. That's one of your gifts, brother.
Yeah.
Is joy, man. Making people laugh, bro.
Yep.
Continue to do that, bro, because everybody can't do it like that.
Absolutely not. And if y'all in Georgia, though, real quick, man, if y'all in Georgia, bro, y'all looking for a fitness coach, I'm gonna open my gym soon, so it's on the way. But I do personals only, man. So tap in if y'all want to win, bro. You did.
Man, that's
Cold
another.
piece, man.
We gonna wrap it right there, man.
Cold piece.
We gonna wrap it right there.
Got my good promo spot. Hey.
Hey, man, that's a wrap.
But play milk.
That's a wrap right there, man. Shameless plug from D-Rail, man.
D-Rail, Flint Town.
We gonna wrap it right there. Really dope conversation.
For
And
sure.
we're gonna continue to do it, like I've been saying. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this, This is why fighters, and to the young fighters out there, you're not just a fighter, man.
That's a fact.
That may be what you know, that may have been what you've been doing since you've been a baby. and it's kind of all you know. Continue to evolve your mind. Continue to read. Start asking God to show you other gifts and talents that you have, because those are the building blocks that you're gonna stand on when you walk away from this thing.
Man.
Right? The game gonna always pull you back. It's a cold game. It's a cold game. It don't like letting you go very easily. But if you got some other stuff lined up, if you got your money in position, it's gonna help the walk away. And you're not gonna have that as much of a pull to come back. So continue to be more than a fighter, man, and don't sell yourself out in this game, man. Stay true to your beliefs, stay true to who you are, and in the end, man, it's gonna work for you. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Another episode of Dre Day with the legend, Roy Jones Jr.
There it is.
Yo.